Welcome back to another episode of Let 'Em Ride. We're going to be going over the single game on the WNBA slate for June 17th in this video. Talk about my analysis for this game, which way I'm leaning on the points and the spread, and any picks I play in this game, I'll list down below in the pinned comment later on. So don't forget to check back in to see if you'd like to ride along or if you'd like to fade those. When it comes to Sunday's picks, look, the sports betting gods were not nice to this dad on Father's Day, okay? We go through the reverse sweep, unfortunately. Used a no-sweat bet from DraftKings on both teams to score under 75.5 in the Sky Fever game. This was a plus money play, so a slightly more risky play, but one I was willing to give a go with that no-sweat bet attached. And hey, it was Father's Day, right? So why not? But Indiana played with an excellent chemistry in this one. Caitlin Clark and Aaliyah Boston, they really worked that pick and roll to perfection in the second half on their way to a 91-83 win. It was one of those situations where, we're on the right side of things. I was leaning Fever laying the point in the video last, but unfortunately pulled the trigger on the wrong play instead. We also had the Storm first quarter team total over 20.5. They landed 19 after coming out flat to begin the game. They went down by as many as 13 to open the period. They were able to get within 6 to close out the quarter. However, that did us no favors either, as we had Seattle laying the half point in the first quarter. So it's an 0-3 night overall, but with that no sweat bet attached, I'm not going to count that against the overall record or units for the week. So for the week, we do finish at 6-6 overall. We just about break even and just barely cross into that dreaded negative zone. So room to improve for sure. They say the best cappers and professionals hit at about a 55% rate, so I suppose hitting at a 50% rate and breaking even isn't bad for a chef who works 50 hours a week, right? But with that said, and with the time and research I put into this as well, I do fully expect to be better and do better in regards to these picks that I post. I'm highly competitive, I'm highly stubborn, so I can lose for the next month, the rest of the season, until the end of time. It doesn't really matter. I'm going to keep getting up each day. I'm going to keep making these videos for y'all because, one, I truly enjoy the process of it, the grind of it all, and I love talking about sports, especially basketball. So enough of my yapping on and on. Let's just do that and get right back to it. Let's talk some basketball. So tonight we do have the Dallas Wings taking on the Minnesota Lynx. Lynx are at home, laying 9 with an over-under at 164. The Wings come in 3-9 straight up. They're 5-7 to the number, with the Lynx 10-3 both straight up and against the spread. And they're 5-1 at home with a one-day rest advantage coming into this one. The Wings are only 2-4 on the road, but they are 4-2 against the spread away from Dallas. The Wings have lost 7 straight, with an 11-point loss in Minnesota to these Lynx being part of that losing streak. The Lynx rank in the top 3 in both offensive and defensive rating, and they hold a 17.8-point differential in terms of net rating with these Wings. And over the last 5 games, that number grows to 27.3. Minnesota ranks first in terms of effective field goal and true shooting percentages, with the Wings sitting at 10th in each of those categories. The Lynx are currently first in the W in field goal and three-point field goal percentages as well, and make the most threes per game, while the Wings make the second least threes per game, and they shoot them at the worst percentage in the W. The Wings are 4th in the league, however, in field goal percentage, and they score 52% of their points from inside the paint, while the Lynx have given up a 4th worst in the W, 36 points per game from the paint. But they are holding opponents to a 3rd best 56% field goal percentage from inside 5 feet. So the Lynx just simply don't give up a lot of good looks from 3. That leads to more points being scored from inside the paint, but it's on more shot attempts, so opponents aren't getting good looks or shooting efficiently from the paint, despite the points per game. Minnesota is first in steals, and 24% of their points come off turnovers, which is first in the W, and the Wings give up the most points off turnovers in the league. So I'm leaning Minnesota in this one, but slightly hesitant to pull the trigger with Dallas having some success on the road against the number and these larger spreads. I definitely think Minnesota wins. I'm not surprised if they cover, or if they win by 20 plus even. But I'm also not going to be shocked if they win this one by like 8 and Dallas just covers. All right. So my lean is going to be with Minnesota. For the total, I'm leaning over with Minnesota's high-powered offense in mind. All right. I'm not sure this makes my final plays, though, because of Minnesota's defense. That's one that, in my opinion, rivals the Sun for the best in this W. The Wings play some of the worst defense in the W, however, and with their weaknesses we discussed earlier playing into Minnesota's strengths, I think the Lynx can score enough to push this up over the number. I think the Lynx team total over is worth a look as well. That's just about going to wrap us up here for another episode of Let 'Em Ride. Don't forget to check down below in that pinned comment later on for any picks that I put in for this game, so you could choose if you would like to ride along with me or if you want to fade me. If you enjoyed this video and you found it useful, found it helpful, or if you just came here because you wanted to roast me about the slump that I've been on here these last couple days, hey, please hit that like button. Please hit subscribe if you haven't already, and please share if you can. Thanks for the support. Thanks for watching the show. I'll see you on the next one.